Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. We got a few stories to talk about, including these two stories. Kyler Gordon, is he going to get a contract extension from the Chicago Bears? Plus, the Bears going to pass on offensive line with the number 10 pick. We're also going to talk about Cooper Kupp, so stay tuned for that as well. Let's start with Spider-Man himself, Kyler Gordon. He talked about his future today after receiving the Ed Block Courage Award from the Bears. Gordon was asked, where are things at with the potential extension, this and that? Do you want to be here long term? Here's part of what Kyler had to say. Quote, I love Chicago. I love everything about it. The people, the history, the team, the community. This is where God is telling me to be. This is where I will be. It's where I want to be. As far as an extension, we'll see what happens. I've got no control of that, but God will. I think it's an interesting comment saying, I have no control over that in terms of the extension. Is that a signal that extension talks haven't started between Gordon and the Bears, or is that a signal of it's just the agent and the Bears? He's not really up to date on where things sit? Because to me, he was the one guy entering the final year of his rookie contract this year that an obvious extension candidate. Braxton Jones with his injury, I think you play this year out. Jaquan Brisker with his concussions, I think you play this year out. But Kyler Gordon, a guy who's had some minor injury concerns. He's missed 9 games in 3 seasons. So, it's a definitely something that would be discussed during these negotiations. But to me, as a second-round pick, the first selection Ryan Poles made as an NFL general manager, I think he's checked enough of the boxes that I would extend this guy. I would keep Kyler Gordon in this organization for the years to come. I'd give him a 3-4 year extension. You'd try to give it that $9-10 million per year, but maybe you go up to 11 or 12 based on some of the deals that just got done, like Jordan Lewis, for example. He got 3 for $30. Could you get that same deal? If you did, I think that's a win. Maybe you go slightly higher, 11, 3 for 33, something like that. But to me, he's shown me enough. And the fact that Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen went out of their way in their introductory pressers to bring up Kyler Gordon as a player they like, that tells me that this organization wants him here. Kyler wants to be here. Get something done. Also, Kyler Gordon said this, I think it's just about doing it right in terms of when it would happen. I'm not really pressed for time, whether it's here, now, or later. I think it's just about doing it right, just being fair. He also said he'd be, quote, extremely happy with an extension if it happened in the offseason. So he could say, I think it's just about doing it right. He wants an extension now. Players always want it sooner rather than later. More money now means more money later, right? You can invest that money. It's financial security, all that stuff. If he plays this year out and blows out his knee, he's losing money. So obviously he would like to get a deal hammered out. We will see if that happens. Maybe this is something the Bears shift their focus to, once free agency slows down, once the draft comes and goes. We'll have to wait and see. But again, to me, he is the guy I would like to extend and get done. Those other guys, Jaquan, Braxton, I'm playing this year out. We'll see what happens. There's too many concerns with those players, but Gordon is eligible, and I would like to get him extended. What say you? Should the Bears extend Kyler Gordon? Type Y for yes or type N for no. I absolutely would. I think he's absolutely worth it. Okay, before we get to some more stories here, I do want to tell you guys about our sponsor, PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you sign up and play for just $5. It's easy. You set lineups of 2 or more players. As long as it's 2 or more players on 2 or more different teams, it can be the same sport, different sport, doesn't matter. As long as you meet the requirements of 2 or more players on 2 or more different teams. You can win up to 1,000 times your entry on certain lineups with PrizePicks. Yes, you can turn $10 into 10,000. It's awesome. And I've got a little lineup for you guys if you want to chase me today. Anthony Edwards, get a little discount there. Take the more on his points. Quentin Grimes has been hot recently. Took the more on his points as well. $10 to win 30 on this one, so kind of a lower leverage payout situation. But again, if you want to go 5-player lineup, 6-player lineup, get up to 1,000 times your entry on certain lineups, you can do that. You hit, you win, you make money. It's that simple. $10 billion in earnings given out and counting from PrizePicks. You should get in on the winnings, and you can do so. Sign up today, prizepicks.com/CLNS. The code CLNS, once you set your first lineup, it's going to get you, of at least $5, is going to get you at least, or is going to get you a $50 bonus. Get signed up today. Shout out to PrizePicks. All right, coming up next, we got a few other storylines. Cooper Kupp. Want to talk a little NFL draft as well, plus a couple other just news nuggets we'll kind of just rip at the end of the show. Are the Bears going to draft an offensive lineman with the number 10 pick, or are they not? We'll talk about that. But quick reminder to subscribe to the channel. We are chasing 119,000 subscribers. We got videos every single day, all year long, throughout the offseason. Hit that sub button to support the program. Okay, ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller says that offensive line is not in play, in his eyes, for the Chicago Bears with the number 10 pick. Here's what he had to say. He hopped on 670 The Score today and said, quote, I would say offensive line is off the table at 10. There's no indications that they aren't Braxton Jones fans. I've actually talked to Ryan Poles about this super recently, or not super recently, he said, but we've had Braxton Jones conversations. I would probably take offensive line off your radar at number 10. He also mentioned Will Campbell's arm length issue. If they do want to get a left tackle, that's a very real thing that teams are going to consider. Look, I understand some of what he's saying, but I think there's a lot here you can dispute. Number one, when he said, I've had Braxton Jones conversations with him, but not recently. Well, has he had one with him since Braxton Jones had a major leg surgery? That's like new relevant information that could change the calculus of how things look. Also, as you just look at some reasons why you would consider O-line at 10, Ryan Poles himself said that you need competition at left tackle. Now, again, that doesn't have to be in the first round, but it can be. It absolutely could be, especially if it's the best player on the board. Like, what if they think Armand Mimbu can play left tackle and he's the highest player on your board? You're not going to take him? Like, I think you absolutely would consider that. Also, we just got to be real. With Braxton Jones' injury situation, you're going to need another player in there just in case that dips into the season. Hopefully it doesn't, but it could. And even if it doesn't, you need a long-term answer if Braxton isn't that guy. The offensive guards, we hope Joe Thuney signs an extension. I would expect him to, but as of now, he's on a one-year deal here. Jonah Jackson, as of now, you can get out of that deal next year if he doesn't play well this year. So, like, you could take a Will Campbell and plug him in at guard. And you just can't have enough guys up front. Guys go down. So, my point is this. Matt Miller is right in the sense that they've addressed offensive line, and if Jones is healthy, their starting five is probably set for this year. That's absolutely true. But to act like taking an offensive lineman at number 10 isn't even in play is just simply incorrect. But to his point, and I'll meet him halfway here, and I've been preaching this all week, the Bears have done a hell of a job to address offensive line. Now you can just go best player available. If that's an offensive lineman, great. If it's Ashton Genty, awesome. It's Tyler Warren. As you look at a few names that I'm interested in, that's fantastic. If Mason Graham gets there, that would be a home run. If you want to trade down, you can do that as well. The point is the Bears have given themselves flexibility, but make no mistake, if there's an offensive lineman they love at number 10, they should absolutely heavily consider taking that player because you still need young, talented offensive linemen that you're developing to be long-term pieces. And if they think one of these, Mimbu, Campbell, even a Josh Simmons, whoever, can be a 10-year pro and a very good one, that's someone you would consider taking. Who will the Bears draft at number 10 overall? If you had to guess, who do you think the Bears will draft? Give us your guess in the comments of this video. Okay, Cooper Kupp has been officially released by the LA Rams. They held out hope that they could trade him, but that is not happening. He is now free to sign with other teams as he has been designated a post-June 1 cut by Los Angeles. Now, Dan Orlovsky mentioned a few teams, which I found pretty interesting. Excuse me, still battling some stuff here. He mentioned the Seahawks, Patriots, Titans, Bears, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as teams. I think teams like the Vikings would make sense. It's also been reported that the Packers are interested, so NFC North, watch out. Look, if the price is right, I'm in. I mean, if you can get him around that DeAndre Hopkins contract, $6 million, like, sign me up. He's a hell of a blocker. He's a team-first guy. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's lost a step. I mean, you can see the production and the injuries are real. The production decline, I should say. But I think he's the perfect number 3 receiver because he's still got enough juice to be a good complementary weapon, and he is a willing blocker. A willing blocker. And we know Ben Johnson values that. What's the phrase? No block, no rock. Yeah, I think Ben Johnson would love a guy like this, but it would come down to money. He's going to have a lot of suitors. If I would have to guess, I'd bet against it in terms of him signing with the Bears, but I'd at least make a call, see what that price tag looks like, and if it's reasonable, make an offer because I think he could help this football team quite a bit. Should the Bears sign Cooper Kupp? S for sign or P for pass? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. And before we get out of here, just a couple news items to rip through. Jack Sanborn is signing with the Cowboys, so he's following Matt Eberflus and Dave Borgonzi to Dallas. So he is officially gone. Wish him the best of luck. Still wish the Bears would have tendered him, but they clearly didn't view him as a scheme fit or whatever the case may be. Free agency is heating up with the quarterback market. Russell Wilson's going to meet with the Browns and the Giants. Does that signal Aaron Rodgers, our hated old rival, signing with the Steelers? Who knows? We'll keep an eye on that. So that's where things sit there. Free agency is heating up. Still things to go. We'll see what the Bears do next. Hit that subscribe button and bear down.